Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last few videos, we have been talking about 1D array, 2D array and 3D array. Hope all of them are clear. So now is the time to understand when should we use an array and when should we avoid it. So let's see. So we should be using an array in all those cases where we need to store multiple similar type of data. So there are two important words here. One is multiple and another is simple. The importance of multiple is that if you want to store only, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 data or very few data, we can do it via variables as well. But if you want to insert, let's say, 1000 data or 1 lakh or 1 million data, in that case we need an array. Now what is the importance of a similar data? So if you remember from the definition of an array can store only a similar data type. That is, an integer can only store integer number. It cannot store a float or a character. Hence, when we want to store multiple similar numbers like 1 million integer or 1 million float, in that case we should always be using an array. Now, apart from this, is there any other condition where we can use an array? Of course, yes. And the answer is when we want to do a random access of any given data cells. Now, what do we mean by that? Now, let's say this is our array and we want to randomly access the second cell over here or the fourth cell over here. Now in those kind of cases, array is exceptionally good because accessing any random cell takes order one time. However, as we will see later, that there is a concept called linked list which is better than array in some of the cases, but the biggest drawback of linked list is that we cannot access any random cell. That is, in case of linked list, if we want to access the third node over here, we have to start from first, then second and then third. So in that case, the complexity will always be order of n, where n is the size of the linked list. So as you can see that a simple operation like randomly accessing any cell number in case of array can give us a constant time operation. But in case of linked list, which we will talk later, will take us order n time complexity. So in those kind of cases, we always use an array over a linked list. Now does that mean that array is the boss and we should always be using an array instead of either a linked list or a variable? Of course not. Let's see in which scenarios we should avoid an array. Now the biggest limitation of an array is that non-homogeneous, that is non-similar data types cannot be stored in a single array. So this is a byproduct of point number 1 over here. That is, if you want to store, let's say, few integer numbers, few float and few characters, in that case we can't store all this in a single array. We have to use multiple arrays which is in sync with the data type. Now apart from this, there is another big disadvantage of using an array, which is we always need to know what is the size of an array in advance. So let's say if we want to store few integers and we don't know exactly how many integers do we want to save. If it is coming from some external source which does not let us know how many data we are expecting, in that case array will not work, because in an array we have to predefine that what is the size of an array. Now since we don't know how many data that we want to store, we cannot tell what is the size of the array that is required. Hence, in those cases, array will fail miserably. So what to be done in those kind of cases? Do we use variables? Probably yes, but the problem with variable is if we want to store, let's say, 1 million numbers, then are we going to create 1 million variables? Of course not. So this is where linked list comes in. It gives us that flexibility of creating as many number of cells or nodes as required in runtime. If we require 10 nodes or cells, we create 10. If we require 1 lakh cells, we can create 1 lakh. All of this can be done in runtime. Now, what is a linked list and how it works? We will talk about all of that in great details in the later videos. So that is all for this video. In the next video, let's talk about what are the practical uses of an array. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.